About this verse 10, 14, 14. 10th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 14th verse, 14th chapter. It's a very confidential kind of a verse. Now you have to understand this particular verse was commented by Sridhar Swami in a different way. And Jiva Goswami and the other acharyas, they came and then they said that this commentary is a little, bears a little bit bears resemblance to a kind of Mayavadi interpretation. So they said that Sridhar Swami purposely gave a Mayavadi tinge to the commentary so that Mayavadis can be attracted towards devotional service. Just like if you put some meat piece or a dirty piece to a fish hook so that you can attract the fish and you can catch the fish. So that's what they say. But the reality is, of course, that Sridhar Swami can absolutely have no tinge of Mayavadi in his commentaries, because this is the Amala Puran and his commentary is Amala. It was revered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he called him the original commentator and he called him the Pati, and anybody who is not agree with the Pati, he is like a prostitute. That's what he told Vallabhacharya. So why did the acharyas like Jiva Goswami, who are Nitya Siddha Mahabhagavats, actually have a problem with this commentary? Because this entire pastimes, this is the Leela of the Lord. This is the Leela of the acharyas. There is no difference of opinions or difference of opinion among the acharyas regarding various verses. It's simply an hidden marker. Basically, these verses are the acharyas, by creating a controversy or saying that, oh, this meaning is not really quite up to the point. By saying that, the acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Sridhar Swami, they collaborate to create a marker, a secret marker for Vaishnavas to look deeper into the verse. That means this is a marker left for Vaishnavas so that they can understand Krishna's true nature. Why would they leave markers? Why wouldn't they directly speak the secret meaning of this verse? Because none of the acharyas in the commentaries reveal esoteric secrets, because these commentaries are open for everybody. Even Mayavadis, people who are not devotional, neophyte devotees can see these verses. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says the controversy and the contradictions in the Vedas exist to preserve the confidential nature of the Vedic literatures. Why do contradictions exist in the scriptures? To preserve the confidential nature. This is the exact words of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I have the quote also with me. To preserve the confidential nature. That means when Vedas are talking in contradictory terms, that means there is some confidential key. And when Krishna reveals that key from within your heart, and then you insert that key into these verses, all the contradictions immediately vanish. So these verses are not directly speaking, or they're not directly giving us the knowledge. They're not revelatory in nature. They are confirmatory in nature, most of the confidential verses of the Shastras. So they won't reveal it to any Tom, Dick and Harry. Nobody can just go about and just understand Sanskrit and learn Panini grammar and just go into these verses, because these verses are highly confidential. So what happens is, first the secret meaning is revealed in the heart of a devotee. Tesham eva anukampartha aham ajnanajam tamah nashayamyatmi bhavastu jnana deepena bhashvatah. In the heart of a devotee, the acharyas and Krishna and Yogamaya, they reveal the secret nature of the verse. And that's the key. And when you insert the key into these various verses, then the apparent contradictions are completely eradicated. And the verses become like the sunshine, like the Vedas. Like the Vedas and all the verses become like the midday sun. And you understand the esoteric meaning of the verses. And then you go into ecstasy, actually. So this is one such verse. And the marker left with the acharyas is the contradiction. That's the marker. That's the treasure key. That's like the hint to the key. By creating a controversy, they have left a marker for sincere devotees to go deeper into this verse, to pray to Krishna and try to understand this verse so that they can actually get the revelation of this verse. So what is this verse? So the verse is 10, 14, 14. It says, Narayanastvam nahi sarvadehinam atmasyadhisya khilaloka sakshi Narayanangam narabhujala yanaaat tachhapi satyam na tava eva maya. So the last part of this verse is Tachapi Satyam Na Tava Eva Maya. The Narayan is not Satya, my Lord. He is your Maya. This is actually it's shocking. If you take the literal meaning of the verse, it'll be actually shocking. And he says, Narayanas Tvam Nahi Sarva Dehinam. Tvam Narayanas. The starting part of this verse says, Narayanas Tvam Na. You are not Narayan, my Lord. Na, he is Sarva Dehinam. So this, of course, when you say that Krishna is not Narayan and then Narayan is Maya, that's like definitely controversy. And this is how Sridhar Swami says, yeah, that's right. Tava Hiyama Maya, Narayan is Maya. So that's like, looks like Mayavad in fact. And that's exactly what the Acharyas like Jiva Goswami say. Oh, that's like a Mayavadic interpretation meant to attract the Mayavadis. What are they trying to say? To preserve this verse feels contradictory to other verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a contradiction. So this is an example of where you see Vedic contradictions exist. And when you apply insert the key to the verse, then tremendous jewels of realizations are going to come out of this verse. I mean, things that about Krishna that nobody knew are going to come out of this verse. So this is how the Acharyas leave the Makas, by creating controversy, by saying, no, yes. And then immediately a sincere devotee knows that there is something in this verse that the Acharyas are trying to show. Just like they're creating a commotion so that a sincere devotee can come to that verse. They're like, it's a secret way to attract the devotees by creating commotion. They're saying, no, this is not that, this is not this. And then when the devotee immediately knows that the Acharyas can never have contradictions, they can never have such contradictions, that means there is a secrecy in this verse. That means there is something that's supposed to be revealed in this verse. So what Jiva Goswami says, the translation that is done is what Prabhupada follows, Jiva Goswami's translation. He says, instead of, the verse says, Narayana Tvam Nahi Sarva Dehinam. The one who is there in every heart, Narayana, you are not that. So, the way Jiva Goswami and Prabhupada translate these verses, they take you are not, they take it like in a rhetorical way. Are you not the original Narayan? Instead of you are not, they translate it as are you not the original Narayana, Supreme Controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created? Indeed, Lord Narayan is your expansion. He is called Narayan because he is the generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is real, not a product of illusory Maya. So he says he is real. So they explain this verse. Tacha api. Api, it could be also, but they have translated as indeed, which is also fine. So in fact, api mostly is used as also. So tacha api, that means that also, Narayan also is satyam na. He is not true. Tava eva maya. He is your Maya. He is a product of your Maya. He's this thing of your Maya. So, but they have explained that tacha api is indeed, that also indeed satyam, he is true, not na tava eva maya. Eva means he is also. Eva is usually 90% used as eva, sure, he is also, like that. But here tava eva means he is at all, not at all. Not tava eva maya, he is not at all illusory energy. So how do we understand this? What secrets is this verse? What Brahmaji is trying to explain? So first of all, he's saying, so here you understand the secret. Let's go to the secret key. The key here is that Krishna, we generally understand Krishna as Krishna under Yogamaya behaves like Krishna. That's what we think. We think that Krishna is actually Krishna. He's the Supreme Lord, Narayan himself. You can say he's the source of Narayan, but under Yogamaya, he's afraid of Mother Yashoda. When he voluntarily comes under Yogamaya, he's afraid of Yashoda. He's running from Yashoda. He's like a guy who steals the things and all of these things. So in the previous videos, we have already explained all these concepts. So you can go back to those videos in a very detailed 1.5 hour presentation where we have explained what Narayan is and what Krishna is. So we'll just summarize it here. So in this thing, we understand what Yogamaya tells me is Krishna is not under Yogamaya. Although the general understanding is that Krishna voluntarily goes under Yogamaya and he behaves like a kid. He forgets that he's Krishna and he's just like enjoying rasa. But actually Yogamaya can never cover Krishna. Yogamaya covers Narayan. So Narayan is a product of Yogamaya. So here's the secret of this verse. Krishna is Krishna. He is as he is. He is not the Supreme Lord. He thinks like I'm a small kid. That's his natural thinking. That's who he is. So, as I made you understand, there are three ways of understanding Krishna. First is the Sat realization that Krishna is Brahman, the supreme energy. That is the first preliminary realization. Then there is Sat Chit realization, where you think that Krishna is Vishnu, Paramatma in the heart, who orchestrates all the events of this world. First is the physical event, all the world, everything, the taste of the water, everything is Krishna. That is Brahman realization, Sat realization. You can see that, like, an impersonalist thinks Krishna is a taste of the water, but the personalist thinks that Krishna is Paramatma, who's orchestrating all the events of this world, and he is providing the water to the devotee. That particular explanation is given in Rasoham Apsi Kauntaya Purports by Srila Prabhupada. You can go into that. He says, what's the difference between impersonalist and a personalist? Personalist sees Vishnu, because Vishnu is the orchestrator of things. He's Paramatma. Paramatma orchestrates things. And Brahman is the physical entity from which everything is coming. Even Pradhana, the material element, is a transformation of Brahman from milk to curd, because Pradhana is Lord Shiva's body. So all of these things, only Satchit realization is when you come to the realization that everything is Vishnu, actually. Okay. So then what you think is that Krishna is under some kind of Yog Maya. The Supreme Lord is thinking himself to be a kid. No. The reality is, when you understand Sat Chit Ananda, then you become a devotee. Then you can offer food to Krishna, because when you understand Krishna's heart, the heart of Krishna is like a small child. He's like Chota Bheem, that small little super-powered kid. We have certain small kids sometimes in some cartoons who are super-powered. And they can do anything. Their brains are infinite. Their body is infinite. They can control planets. They can destroy planets. But their heart is like a small kid. And this is not Maya. This is directly who they are. They behave like that. So when you understand Krishna to be that small kid who really gets hungry from Mother Yashoda's milk, who really gets afraid of Yashoda, then you have understood God. Then you have understood Him entirely. And that knowledge is not going to stop your bhakti. Jnana karma anavrit. That's not going to cover your bhakti. That jnana is complete jnana. Only incomplete jnana about Brahman and Paramatma, about Vishnu, is going to cover your jnana, your bhakti. When you offer food to Krishna thinking him to be Vishnu, then you do only Lakshmi Narayan worship. It's like Pancharatrika. It's about neophytes. You just offer him so that, he doesn't require the food. It's just for my purification that I'm offering him. He's kindly come to accept my prasad. This is the Paramatma realization of Krishna as a Vishnu, Lakshmi Narayan. But then when you see that Krishna is a small little kid who actually gets hungry, who actually is hungry for Mother Yashoda's milk, who wants food, and his nature is he wants chocolates, he wants chappan bhog, he wants love, and he's just like a kid. When you understand Krishna to be that, then your bhakti cannot be stopped. Then you know that, if I don't offer prasad to Krishna, he's going to beat the hell out of me because he's going to get hungry. Now you must say, how can Krishna, the Supreme Lord, the Lord of the Brahman, everything is coming, Janmadhyasya Yataha, how can he get hungry? Now, how can he get hungry? Because he's the absolute truth. Anvaya itartha, whatever he directly and indirectly desires from his subconsciously, he desires. Like he desires, I want to run from Yashoda. I don't want to be caught by Yashoda. And indirectly, he's thinking, I want to be caught by Yashoda. Now, you have to understand his heart. His heart is that of a kid. He's really a kid. Yog Maya is not covering him. So who's Yog Maya covering? She's covering Narayan. Who's Narayan? Narayan is Krishna, covered by Yog Maya, who thinks that he's a mature guy. He is not a mature guy. Narsimadev is Krishna, who's covered by Yog Maya, and he thinks he's Narsimadev. Balaram is Krishna, who's covered by Yog Maya, who thinks he is Balaram. So in that sense, they can be a product of Maya. Tava eva Maya is Yoga Maya, not that illusionary Maya that Mayavadis think. Yoga Maya is actually the one who's actually, Narayan is also a product in the sense, it's Krishna, and when he's processed by Yoga Maya, the product that comes out is Narayan. You can say that way he's a product of Maya. Because Narayan is actually Krishna. He's like a small kid, but he's thinking I'm a mature guy. You can see that, I've explained it in the previous videos also, when there was a huge meeting, GBC meeting, and a worldwide conflict zone, and a lot of demons and devotees come from both sides for a meeting, and Vishnu is sleeping on the ocean of milk. Why do you think he's lying on the ocean of milk? He likes butter and milk. That's why he's lying on the ocean of milk. He's actually a kid in his heart. And then when they come and, he's not even thinking about what they are thinking. He just says, okay, let's do one thing. Let's just churn the ocean of milk. Let's make butter. Because I am remembering Mother Yashoda. So Vishnu is remembering Mother Yashoda and he wants to churn the butter. He wants to churn the milk ocean, get butter. And he gets like, okay, where do we get the churning rod? Get the mountain Mandara. And he's a lord. You can get anything, And where do you get the rope? Mr. Who are you? Vasuki, you're the Lord. I'm the president, the minister of snakes. Okay, you become the road. What do you mean you become the road? You're going to you're going to give my head to those demons and my tail to the demigods? What is this? Is this a solution? I'm an honorable member of the parliament. How can you make me into a churning rope? Now, who can think like that? Can a mature person think like that? Only a small kid, Damodar, can think like that. So ultimately, Vishnu is Damodar. That's who he is in his heart. Only under Maya, he is constantly thinking, oh, I am this, I am that. And that's why he wants to meet Krishna. So he's got multiple personality syndrome. That's like, I'm just joking, but that's what he's got. He thinks he's multiple personalities. But the point is, the original personality is Swayam Krishna. Swayam Krishna is one who's thinking himself to be a cowherd boy of Vrindavan. And that is who he is. He is a kid. His heart is like a small little kid. So because this his Maya Shakti, Yoga Maya, works independent of him. She's also a small little kid, a lollipop sucking kid, Yoga Maya. She always does this, little frog, little lollipop, and she controls the entire three universes, all the three, spiritual world, material world, and Brahman. She controls everything. Even Brahman, Yoga Maya is there. Although we can say that there is no Maya in Brahman, Vaikuntha, actually there is Maya, because she covers Krishna's Chit and Ananda potency, and because Krishna's Chit and Ananda potency are absent in Maya, in Brahman, therefore Brahman is a partial manifestation of Krishna. Actually, Krishna always has such Chit Ananda form. He's always having form everywhere, He's always a covered boy of Vrindavan. That's his original form, from which everything else is coming up, from which Brahman, Paramatma, universes, everything is coming. But she covers that. She covers the Ananda and the Chit aspect of the Lord, which creates forms actually. Because Krishna manifests through Brahman, he manifests any form, any place, anywhere, just depending upon the emotions that he exhibits. When Krishna thinks, I am Narsimhadev, he will convert Brahman or a pillar into Narsimhadev. That's he can convert anything into anything, spiritual into material, material into spiritual, anything. Anywhere he can manifest himself. From every atom he can manifest himself. Any form he can manifest himself. Forms are manifested by Ananda, Bhav, and that changes the Chit, and that changes the Sat. We all know this in the previous videos. We are given the example of Jagannath, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Their forms are changed only because their Ananda has changed, and the Chit has changed, and then Sat is changed. When the Ananda and the Sat Chit are covered, then what you get is Brahman. Pratishiddesu samvida avidya yatmani krute iti tad brahma darshanam, is a secret verse. So this verse explains that who is covering that? That's Maya. She's covering it. Avidya, she's covering that, and then what you get is Brahma Darshanam. Brahma Darshanam, because your Chit and Ananda potencies are covered by Maya. So, in this case, Narayan also is a partial covering. What is happening is, just like Maya is covering Brahman, the other aspects of Brahman, and you can only see the Sat aspect of Brahman, the Chit and Ananda aspect of Brahman, which is actually Krishna with the form, and that is covered by Maya. So, Maya is present in Brahman also. When we say that in Brahman there is only Sandhini potency, there is no other potencies, but actually Maya is covering the other potencies. They are always present. They cannot be separated from Krishna. Chit and Ananda cannot be separated from Sat. If there is only Sat, that means Chit and Ananda covered from the eyes of the onlooker. And when the observer cannot see the Chit and Ananda potencies of the Lord, that means he is having a Brahman realization of the Lord. The Brahman is always Chit and Krishna is always Sat Chit Ananda. But the eyes are covered, and when the eyes are covered by this disease, and when we add Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, Prema Anjana, and then the disease is gone, and then the Ananda or Prema can be seen. Prema Anjana, when it's applied to the eyes, you can see Krishna. Because when you see Ananda, you see Chit, and then you see Sat, everything in its real aspect, as it is, in its original form. So, again, Narayan is actually a partial covering by Yoga Maya, so that you cannot see Krishna as he is. You cannot see Vishnu as he is. You see Vishnu as a great personality, and Krishna himself sees himself as a great personality and everything. Mature guy in Vishnu. So he's covered by Yoga Maya. So he is a product of Maya. Tava eva Maya here refers to Vishnu being covered by Maya. So who is Krishna? Krishna is somebody who's never covered by Maya. Who is Yogeshwara, who is the Lord of Maya. He is the only person who instructs Maya. As per one of our acharyas, quoted by Hari Parshad Prabhu once upon one of his lectures, he says that the acharya, who coming in the line of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that the only proof that Krishna is Supreme Personality Godhead in all the Shastras is in the Bhagavatam 10th canto when he instructs Maya. because there is no other incarnation in any of the Shastras, in the Vedic literature, in the entire spectrum of Vedic literature, has ever instructed Maya, except Krishna. That means Krishna is Maya, or that little old girl, little mischievous girl who's controlling the spiritual and the material realms, only listens to Krishna. All other incarnations, she listens to them so far as they are in sync with Krishna's desires. So that also explains how, when in the heart of a devotee, when Paramatma is replaced by Krishna, Yam Sham Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Santa Sadaiva Rideshu Vilokayanti Yam Sham Sundar. When Sham Sundar comes in the heart of the devotees instead of Paramatma, then all the baggage of karma, which is actually the Paramatmas fighting with each other, the Paramatmas are fighting each other, that is known as karma. When the one Paramatma in one living entity is fighting another, that's the big pastime. It's a Leela, it's a Sansar Leela of Paramatma. There is Shrishta Leela, Sansar Leela, and Nitya Leela in the material world that Paramatma enjoys. So, as a part of the Sansar Leela of beating the Jivatmas and making them into devotees, Krishna enjoys beating the Jivatmas, like Tom and Jerry. You know how Tom beats Jerry beats Tom? You have left me, you have to come back to me. Otherwise, I'll make your life miserable. This is a jilted lever. This is the Leela that he does. And so, as a part of that, Krishna manifests himself in his various incarnations, and then as Paramatma, he creates conflict among various devotees, and then there is karma, and there is a whole list of book that Paramatma has, that he has done this to me, I have to do that to him, this living entity has done this to me. So each Paramatma is like a chariot driver. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, final chapter, before Sarvadharman Parityagya verse, he says that yantra, just like yantra, I am also sitting in everybody's heart. Yantra is made of Maya. This Mayic body, that is the living entity. I am sitting in the heart, just like you, I am sitting in your chariot, I am sitting in their heart also. Just like Balram is on the side of Duryodhan, and I am on your side, and apparently both of us are fighting against each other in the war, but it's just a game. Like in Vrindavan, Balram is on the other team, I am on one team, and we are fighting. In the same way, Paramatmas support their own Jivatmas, and then they keep on fighting, and the Paramatmas never suffer because they don't touch the material world, and the Jivatmas are getting beaten when they fight with each other, and there is a huge karma cycle that happens, and that karma cycle is finished when Krishna takes over in the heart. Santa Sadaiva Rideshu Vilokayanti. When he comes off, he tells Paramatma, please leave. Now I have taken care, I have taken charge, I am the Ishta Devta of this devotee, I have taken charge of this devotee, now your karmas won't work. So that those karma cycles, Krishna simply uses them as a pretext to play mischief with the devotee once he comes to the heart. Then when devotee complains to Prabhupada, Yashoda Maya, Radharani, then he says, no, this karma, I am trying to purify him, I am trying to help him. There is no help, nothing. He's just playing mischief with the devotee, that's all. He can help them in other ways. So Krishna comes, and then nothing works. When Krishna comes in the heart of the devotee, there is no karma that can affect him. No Paramatma in some other living entity can exact revenge from that devotee, because that Paramatma doesn't have the power, because Yogamaya doesn't listen to them. So this is where I was coming to. Yogamaya only listens to Krishna. So unless two devotees themselves are in conflict, in which case this is known as aparadh, only in this case, inside devotional service also there can be problems actually. Otherwise, Yogamaya simply listens to the most powerful Krishna. Like Jagannath is in ecstasy, so he's one of the most powerful Krishnas. So Yogamaya listen to him. Among Krishnas also, like, there is Gopinath, Jagannath, and so many other deities. And Yogamaya will be like following the most powerful deity, in this case, like Krishna. So this is one of the things. And so actually Narayan is the one who's covered by Maya. And under Maya, he's thinking, I'm a mature person. I'm a person who's controlling the world. I am a very mature guy. But actually, Krishna is a small little kid. Now, let us understand how Krishna works. Now, Krishna has direct and indirect desires, as we've already discussed. His indirect desire is, I want to run from Yashoda. And his direct desire is, his direct desire, I want to run from Yashoda. And indirect desire, I want to be caught by Yashoda. Yogamaya detects his indirect desire of Krishna to be more powerful and more pleasure-giving to Krishna, and giving more ananda to Krishna, and that's why she makes Yashoda catch Krishna. Similarly, Krishna, he knows he's God. So when he is doing Leela, we think that Krishna under Yogamaya forgets that he's God and he's doing Leela. No, he completely knows that he's God. But the problem is that although he knows he's God, he knows that when he uses his superpowers on his devotees, it doesn't work. Why? Because it's indirect, or his heart. His indirect desire is to see the devotees happy. So when he sees the devotees are not happy, or their rasa is being disturbed, there's an indirect desire. His heart is not happy. And when his heart is not happy, things don't work the way he wants them to work. Because Yog Maya immediately takes over and she fulfills that desire of Krishna, which is his innermost desire. And the innermost desire of Krishna is to see his devotees being pleased. So when Krishna uses his superpowers with his friends, with his Yashoda Maya, with so many people, then he has seen that it never works. Somehow it doesn't work. He knows that. It always fails. So Krishna is not thinking that I'm not God, or I don't have superpowers and I've forgotten everything, so I am running from Yashoda. No, he knows he's God. He knows he's supreme personality of Godhead, and still he's running because he knows that I can do anything. I can't use my superpowers on Yashoda Maya. If I use my superpowers on Yashoda Maya, in the end I'm going to be miserable. It's not going to work. Like for example, when Yashoda is tying him with the rope, Krishna tried to use his superpowers on Yashoda Maya. He says, all my Shaktis, come and stop her from, tying me up. So then the rope, by all the Shaktis come, and then and the rope becomes like 2 fingers short. And then Yashoda Maya starts getting disturbed. The moment Yashoda starts getting disturbed, Krishna's heart, his compassionate nature, his heart, he's looking at Yashoda and his heart, is not satisfied. Unsatisfaction comes in his heart. Of course, it's a transcendental. All these things are transcendental Leela. His rasa is getting disturbed. The moment his rasa is getting disturbed, Yog Maya detects, Krishna doesn't want Yashoda Maya to be, in any way be disturbed. So I have to overpower all the Shaktis. Now she orders all the Shaktis. No, let him be tied. So he gets tied then, Krishna. Similarly, when Yashoda Maya is like about to chastise Krishna and she's saying, open your mouth and let me see if you have dirt. Then Krishna immediately, like he gets so scared and he's like, oh my God, Mama is going to do something. So he starts using all his superpowers, like literally every single power that he has got as God. All the universes as Sat, as Brahman, he manifests inside his mouth. What greater superpower can be used against Yashoda Maya? Highest superpower he uses. He gets all the universes in his mouth, and suddenly Yashoda Maya suddenly gets disturbed, her rasa gets disturbed, everything gets disturbed, and Krishna's heart is immediately unsatisfied. And Yog Maya, who works independently of Krishna, Swarat, she's Swarat of Krishna. Abhigya Shakti of Krishna is Swarat. So the Yog Maya, who works independent of Krishna, she detects that Krishna will not be happy in this situation. The only situation that Krishna is going to be happy is when he gets, when Yashoda Maya is out of this situation, when she is actually having that Vatsalya Bhav for Krishna. So immediately she takes all the universes off. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Everything is gone. My bhaiya won't be happy. My brother won't be happy. Immediately the lollipop sucking Yog Maya does all these things, and then immediately Yashoda Maya comes back to a natural position. So Krishna has used the superpower and he has failed, almost like. He just got saved a little bit, but he cannot use the superpowers. So the thing is, he knows he's God. He knows at every single point that he's God. So what? I'm God, so what? Nothing's going to work. My devotees, nothing's going to work. Ultimately, whatever I try, it doesn't work. My Sudarshan Chakra, it doesn't work. It listens to my heart. It doesn't listen to my whatever I want to say or whatever I want to do. That's what he tells Ambarish Maharaj. He was actually telling the truth, that I've given my heart to the devotees and simply doesn't work. These people don't listen to me. Sudarshan, because they are all controlled by Yog Maya. Yog Maya only listens to my heart. And even though I want to do something, my heart wants to do something else. And my heart is only satisfied when I see devotees are satisfied, and then everything goes haywire. I can't use my superpowers. So then only thing I can do is run from Yashoda. That's the only thing that is the perfect thing that works every time. Because anything else I try to do, superpowers, everything, in the end I fail. I've seen this for millions of times. So the final solution that I've come to is run from Yashoda. That's the best solution. Hide from her, steal from her. That's the best thing. Don't go for a direct confrontation with her, with all my superpowers. Nothing's going to work with her. So that is who Krishna is. He's always a kid at heart. He's always a small little kid at heart. This verse explains that Krishna is that small little kid. When you understand that nature of Krishna, and then how does he get hungry? Now, Krishna is the absolute truth. Now, when he wants to get hungry, whatever rules he makes, that becomes the truth. All other truths are dependent on his will, because he is the absolute truth. Okay. Now Krishna says, I want to get hungry at this time. That's it. Then he starts getting hungry at that time. Yashoda Maya, Yog Maya is like the alarm bell. Now time, bhaiya, to get hungry. Because he has already set the alarm. I have to get hungry. When he says, I want to get hungry, that becomes the truth. That becomes the truth. he gets hungry. He actually gets hungry at these times, when Yashoda is supposed to feed him. And that's how the deities behave. They get hungry. Actually, it's not that he's acting, he's trying to do something. He's actually hungry. And if you don't feed him, he actually gets angry. That's the reality, because reality is something that he wants reality to be reality. That becomes a reality. Krishna says, I want to eat prasad by my eyes. That becomes a reality. He starts eating from his eyes. Yogamaya changes the rules of the past, present, future. Everything she changes and makes, Krishna wants to eat from his eyes. He says, I want to honor prasad twice. That becomes reality. Yogamaya says, Bhaiya, how can you eat prasad twice? As per rule book number 7, section 3, which I created in the material and spiritual worlds, this rule says that you can only have prasad once. Then you can have bhoga once. That becomes prasad. No. I change my rule. I am enjoying this. I want to have prasad twice. When Krishna desires such in his heart, then she changes all the rule books. Okay, new rule book. Krishna can have prasad twice. And that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is Krishna himself. And Jagannath is honoring the prasad. He's honoring the bhoga. It's already become prasad. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is honoring that prasad again, twice. That's how Yogamaya also. As Bimla Devi, she's Subhadra. She's honoring the prasad inside the temple. And now as Bimla Devi, she's honoring the prasad outside the temple. Twice. You may say, Are, she's Yogamaya. Ultimately, she's Yogamaya only. So that's explained in other verses, how Yogamaya and Mahamaya have a relation, correlation, and what are the reality, about Mahamaya. So all that thing is explained in a different way. But still, all these things become the truth, because Krishna wants it to be the truth. Now, once you realize that Krishna, in his original form, is a small kid, he thinks like a kid, his heart is a kid, then you understand that, now I can give him chocolate, I can give him chappan bhog, and I can do him, I can actually make him I can conquer him by you giving. That's what we're doing in bhakti. What we're doing, we're giving prasad, we're giving harinam, we're making him dance, we're chanting for him, and then we conquer his heart. He's very easy to conquer, Krishna. So when you understand Krishna as a kid, that now in this verse, if you can see, what is happening is, Lord Brahma never had a doubt whether Narayana is Maya or not. He always knew that Narayana is Yogeshwara. He is the Lord of Maya. Everything is, he's Brahma. He has lived for 50 years. 50 years. Every day, there are 1,000 yuga cycles, and in that 1,000 yuga cycles, he has seen that Lord original Krishna has appeared once in a day of Brahma. He knows Krishna comes. He's seen everything, and he knows Vishnu is the Lord of Maya. Whenever Vishnu is there is no other person who can control Maya other than Krishna. So why would he say that Vishnu is Satya, he is not your Maya? Why would he say that? Can you think, Vishnu is not Maya? Didn't he know that? That's basic ABCD. Everybody knows that Supreme Lord is Narayan. There's no doubt. In the previous chapters, when Brahmaji, Narad Muni asked Brahmaji about these topics, Brahmaji already explained so many times, Krishna is Narayan, Supreme Lord is Narayan, Narayan is the Supreme. He knows that. He is born from Padmanabh. He knows everything. So why is he saying, Narayana tvam nahi sarvadehinam? Are you not Narayan? Why would he say? He already knew that Krishna is the incarnation of Narayan. For 50 of his years, he has seen Krishna incarnating as Narayan. He thought that Krishna, just like Vaikunthavasi's thought that Narayan is going into the material world and is incarnating as Krishna. So he has seen that. So he knows Krishna and Narayan are just incarnations of each other, whatever. So he would say, Narayan tvam nahi sarvadehinam. Are you not Narayan in the heart of every living entity? Are you not that Narayan? Why would he say that? He already knew that Krishna has shown his Vishwaroop to Yashoda Maya. He knows that Krishna is Narayan in some format. So what was the bewildering thing here? The bewildering thing is, first time in 50 years of Brahma's life, Krishna revealed to him that he is a kid. In all other incarnations, Brahmaji thought that it was Narayan who was acting like a kid. Actually, it's Narayan. He is simply acting or behaving like a kid. And that's who he is. He just does that so that there is pastime. Just like how Vaikuntavasis were thinking, Brahma was also thinking. Like in Brihat Bhagavatamrit, in the Gopkumar episode, the Vaikuntavasis were thinking that when Narayan went down to the material world, he behaved like a kid, just for acting, just for the sake of pleasure, giving pleasure to his devotees. Originally, he is Narayan. He is just acting like Krishna. That is what he has been thinking for the past 50 years. But this time in Vrindavan, something changed. This time, for the first time in 50 years, Krishna revealed to Brahma that I am a kid in reality, Narayan is Maya. I am a kid. I am not incarnation of, I am not Narayan. I am not Narayan. I am Krishna. That is who I am. So he thought Narayan is acting like Krishna. Now he says, no, Narayan Tvam nahi sarvadehinam. You are not that Narayan who's there in the heart of every living entity. So you can see this verse, right? He's saying you are not Narayan. So first time when Brahma saw that Krishna was a kid, he really was a kid. He was thinking like a kid. His heart was that of a kid. When Brahma knew, oh my God, this is not Narayan acting like a kid. It is not Narayan acting like Krishna. Krishna himself is a kid. A kid is ruling the three worlds. Krishna and his Yogmaya Shakti, two little children, they are controlling all the spiritual and material worlds. Just like small little coward boy and coward girl, they're controlling the whole universe. That small kid, his actual nature is like a small kid. When I used to sometimes behave like a kid, I was very kiddish in my college days, and I always used to be like a kid. And many of my friends, for many months, they thought that I was simply acting so that I can create a humorous situation when I'm talking to them. So they were like, they used to laugh. And then one day they realized that I'm actually a kid. And when they realized that I was actually a kid, they were like, oh my God, I was thinking actually, that you're mature and you're just kind of cracking these jokes and you're getting hungry and everything. So you're just acting, all these years. We just thought that you were acting. But now we understand that you are actually a kid. You're retarded. You're really a kid, They said, how can you be like a kid? You're not grown up. That's something that we just realized now after many years. Similarly, after many years, Brahma realized, on this day, the revelation was given to him that it is not Narayan acting. Krishna, he is a kid. His heart is like a kid. He is actually a person who's afraid of Yashoda. He is actually all these things. That shocked Brahma. That completely shocked. It was not the complexity of Krishna or Vishnu that shocked Brahma Vimohan. It was the simplicity of Krishna that shocked Brahma. Oh my God, Vishnu, I thought you are Narayan. You're not Narayan. Who's acting like a small kid. You are a kid. You really are. He thought Krishna was Narayan acting like a small kid, just for the pleasure of his devotees. Now he realizes you're not Narayan. You're not Narayan. You're actually Krishna. You're actually a small little kid who gets tantrums, who gets hungry, who gets beat. That's your real nature. The real nature of the Supreme Lord. Janmadyasya yatah. The Supreme Lord. The entire universes are coming from you, and you are a kid. Just imagine you are in a flight and then there is a disturbance and you say, oh, that's my karma, that's some aerial disturbances. Then suddenly somebody comes and tells you in your ears, the disturbance is not aerial. The pilot is actually a kid. The guy who's running your plane is a kid, and his co-pilot, she is like a younger kid than him. That will shock you. Unless you're a devotee, unless you're completely have faith in that, you'll get shocked. How can a small little 5-year-old kid run a plane? And then you go and you see, oh my God, that's actually a kid. He's playing, he's throwing cake on his sister and fighting with his sister. And they're beating and punching each other, and they're driving the plane of the entire universe. That's shocking. That's what shocked Brahmaji. He was thinking a mature guy is handling the universe. He thinks that all these multiple universes, Lord Shiva, everything is coming from a mature guy, Vishnu, who's acting in a very controlled environment as Krishna. But now suddenly he realizes Krishna is not Narayan. Krishna is Krishna, and Narayan is actually Maya. Narayan is actually under illusion. He's thinking himself to be a mature guy. That maturity is an illusion. The reality is a small kid who gets hungry, who's like a mischievous guy who's running after butter. That's reality. This is shocks Lord Brahma. So he says, Narayana Tvam Na. You are not Narayan. I just realized that. Thank you for making me realize this. That you were not Narayan acting as Krishna. You are actually a little old kid. And now I'm shocked. What can a kid do? Give him, how am I going to convince him for GBC meetings now? My dear Lord, please come for GBC meetings. I have to give you chocolate. No, I won't come. I'm busy hunting butter. So please come. I'll give you special cake butter. Come for GBC meetings. Now Brahma is thinking I have to do all these things, to get Krishna to come for I was chanting the Purusha Shukta mantras, and now I understand that he wants butter. He was lying on the milk because As Krishna, he was lying for milk, butter. Now he's lying on the milk. That's the only difference. Because he remembers butter. So now I understood that Narayana is also a kid. Oh my God, this is a big problem. And like Brahmaji is like completely bewildered. So he thinks the original Lord from which everybody is coming, that Lord, the Lord of Maya, is actually a small little kid. That is reality. It's not Maya. It's not Yoga Maya. It's actual reality. He's a kid. So he says, why am I stressing so much? Because this is the point that this verse is extremely, otherwise you'll completely you'll think this verse as Mayavadik otherwise. So unless you understand the most esoteric part of Krishna's thing, that he's a kid, that he's actually a small little kid. So unless then you have understood Krishna's heart, then you have understood all knowledge in the universe actually, if you understand this verse actually. That's the reason why I'm stressing so much on this part. So he says, Narayana tvam nahi sarvadehinam atma ashi. Atma is the super soul. Ashi, Adhisha, the controller. Akhila Loka Sakshi. So you are not that Akhila Loka Sakshi who is there in the heart, who is Sarvadehinam. Narayana Angam. So what is the Angam of Narayana? Is Lord Shiva. From Mahavishnu, Sankarshana, Narayana comes Angam of Angam. Angam is a part, body part, Angam. And that body part is Lord Shiva. So Shiva is the Lord of Pradhana. Milk is Narayan. Sadashiv is Narayan, and from Sadashiv the milk gets transformed into curd. The curd is Shambho Tattva. Shambho Tattva is a separate person, Achintya Bheda Bhed among Guna avatar of Krishna, and Shambho Tattva is Lord of Pradhana, who is the material cause for this entire cosmos. What is the material cause? Just like there is wood, which is the material cause for the table, and then there is the table who's crafted by the carpenter. So carpenter is the efficient cause. Nimitta Karana. The Upadana Karana is Shambho and the Nimitta Karana is Maya. And using that material, she manipulates the Jivatmas. So Maya, Yoga Maya, sitting inside the machine known as Durga, which is made from Shambho's body. She doesn't touch the material world because Durga touches the material world, who is actually simply a machine that Yoga Maya uses, like a video game machine, like a drone, like a control. And using that Durga, she manipulates all the living entities, and all the entire material world is being run by Yoga Maya, who is the efficient cause, and her energies, Sandhini, Samvit, Ladini, are transformed, and when they come out through Durga, they are perverted and they come out as a three modes. And the body is Ahankara. Ahankara is Krishna, Lord Shiva's original body. In the inert state is Pradhana, Lord Shiva's body, where the modes are inside him, activated but not fully activated, is Mahatattva. And when Lord Shiva's body, when she is completely activated, all the modes, and the material world is created, everything, and everything is going on, that completely fully booted computer, half booted computer, booting stage is Mahatattva. And the fully booted computer that Yogamaya is manipulating the material world, that computer is known as material world, Ahankara. From Ahankara comes the three modes, perverted modes, which are Sandhini, Samvit, Ladini, coming through the Lord Shiva's body in a perverted way, which Yogamaya uses those three Shaktis. And then all the material creation is created. The three modes, everything is happening through when Durga is using that Lord Shiva's body. So what is that Angam of Narayana? Material world. That Angam of Narayana is Shiva. And from Shiva comes, Yogamaya uses Lord Shiva's body to create Durga. And through Durga, she is manipulating the material world. So Durga and the efficient cause is the ultimate cause, because material cause is the inert cause. Like, he is not doing anything. He is simply, Lord Shiva is simply not interfering with Krishna's desire. Yogamaya, Krishna conveys his desire to Yogamaya. Yogamaya, using Durga's machine, fulfills Krishna's desire in the material world. And Lord Shiva simply is a neutral observer, transparent via media, Guna avatar. So that is the reason why, just for creating the gunas, he is a transparent via media, as Shambho. And because of that, he is non-different from Krishna, because every will of Krishna is carried out in the material world through Shambho. He doesn't interfere, he doesn't have any objections. He simply allows Maya, Yogamaya, to create Mahamaya, and from Mahamaya to manipulate all the living entities for Krishna's pleasure. Create a playground for Krishna's Samsara Leela, Paramatma Samsara Leela. And when Krishna comes down the material world, there is Nitya Leela also. And Shrishti Leela. So all these things are being facilitated by Lord Shiva. So he is the Angam of Narayana. So Narayana Angam Nara, Bhu, Jala, Yanaaat. That means Nara is the living entities who are like in the final living end. The living end is spiritual. They are part of actually Krishna. But in the material world, they are tatastha because they have got under two energies. They are covered by an outer covering made of subtle and gross bodies, and they are the living entities inside. So the nara refers to the living entities or jivas who are captivated by Maya. So these naras are created through of course the internal potency. Yoga Maya is actually manipulating them. So you can say that they are under the control of Yoga Maya, but she is using Mahamaya to control them. So they are also under the control of Mahamaya. So in this way, because she is using Yoga Maya and Mahamaya, Durga. So Durga is a merger of Lord Shiva, and the Yoga Maya merges into Lord Shiva's body, and using Lord Shiva's body, she creates the entire Durga face. So she's also in some shastras, she is also referred to as material cause, Maya. Why? Because now she is merged into the material cause, Lord Shiva, and merged into his body, she is creating Durga, and from Durga she is creating everything else. So once the two entities are merged, they become one entity kind of. So material cause now is the efficient cause. The efficient cause is like the material cause. You understand that? Like, should I explain it again? Yog Maya takes the material from Lord Shiva and she creates the material world. Now because she is using the material from Lord Shiva's body, she is also the material cause, because she is actually taking the material from somebody else. But now basically she is something like that. She is merging into Lord Shiva's body, coming out of Lord Shiva's body as Durga, and all her energies are becoming three modes, spiritual energies that she has got. She has empowered with three Sandhini Samvit Ladini potencies to create the material world and everything. She has been empowered by certain potencies. Now that's the secret, but we are not going to say exactly what it is. And then so when she enters Lord Shiva's body and comes out, she is now Durga. Durga is nothing but a potency of Lord Shiva's body only. Now using her own body, she creates remaining things. Now her own body is nothing but Lord Shiva's body, because it's like just think of it. I had to visualize it. I don't know how you'll visualize it. She's entering Lord Shiva's body, coming out like she's wearing a costume made from Lord Shiva's body. That costume is Durga. Okay. Now so she's inside the costume, and now using her, now Durga is nothing but Lord Shiva's body, who's manipulated by Yoga Maya, and now using that Durga potency, her own potency, she is creating everything. So from her own body part, now she doesn't have to use Lord Shiva because she's merged into Shiva. She has got all the material from Lord Shiva's body. Now using her own body, she can create everything else, like Durga's body. Durga's body is manipulated. So in that way, she is the material cause. So in all the Shastras, wherever Maya is sometimes referred to as material cause or Upadana Karana also, this contradiction can be solved. Why she is sometimes referred to as only as the efficient cause in certain places of the Shastras, and certain places she is referred to as material as well as efficient cause. Why? Because she is merged into the body. And as merged entity, she is one entity. And then she uses her own body part, because now her body part has been merged into this. So Yoga Maya never touches Lord Shiva. She never touches it. She just manipulates Lord Shiva's body using Durga Shakti. And she's inside Durga. Like costume. She's wearing a costume of Durga. And Durga costume is made from Shiva's body. That is the milk transformed into curd. That's what's happening actually. So we'll not go. We have explained that in previous videos. So we'll not go into that. So now Narayana Angam, Nara is the living entities who are covered by Maya, Tatastha Shakti, where Yoga Maya and Mahamaya both are manipulating them. In spiritual world, only Yoga Maya manipulates them. So they are not Tatastha Shakti in the spiritual world. They are Purusham Purnam in the spiritual world. Purusham Purnam includes all Shaktis, all pure devotees. Mayam Chatatapa Asharyam that Vyasadeva saw, that includes the Jivatmas. So now you can please refer to that verses. I assume that you know those verses. And Yaya Sammohito Jivo. So he saw that. So Jiva Goswami in the commentary, and also Prabhupada in the commentary says, why in Purusham Purnam other things like Shaktis, Radharani, pure devotees, Prabhupada is not seen. Only three entities Vyasadeva saw. Purusham Purnam, Maya, and third who was Thadapashraya, who was taking shelter from behind, and third one Yaya Sammohito Jivo. He saw the Jivas who were entrapped by Maya, that Tatastha Shakti, he saw them. So that the pure devotees are not considered in Tatastha Shakti. In the spiritual world there is no Tatastha Shakti. Tatastha is Tatha Asta, that who is existing or who is circumstantially existing in a marginal state between two Shaktis. Why marginal? Because Mahamaya means Yoga Maya is also there. Without Yoga Maya, Mahamaya cannot function. She is simply a machine. So wherever Mahamaya is there, Yoga Maya is there. So there are two Shaktis acting on the Jivas. Yoga Maya inside Mahamaya. When there is only one Shakti acting on the Jivas, that is Yoga Maya, that is spiritual world. Okay, so Nara here refers to the Jivatmas. Angam refers to Lord Shiva. Bhu is actually the Bhu Devi. Bhu is the creation of the world, all the elements, everything. Jala is the water of the world. So Bhu, Jala, Ayanaat, because of being manifest, because all the things of this world, all the things of this world are being manifested from Narayana Angam, because they are being manifested from Narayana Angam. And what is Angam? Shiva. And from Shiva comes all the living entities who are in there. He's a father in that sense of the living entities. Nara, Bhu, Jala, Ayanaat, because he is the source of that. Tacha api satyam na. That is why even they are called as Maya. We are all known as Maya, product of Maya in the material world. The everything that you see around yourself, like the trees, the living entities, everything, they are a product of Maya, because they are coming from Lord Shiva, who is coming from Narayan, and Narayan himself is being controlled by Maya. Shiva is also being controlled by Yoga Maya. Narayan is being controlled by Yoga Maya. And in that sense, all the living entities are also being controlled by Yoga Maya, in that sense. And that's why tava eva satyam na. They are not in their true state. Tava eva maya. They are also your product of your illusory energy. So, they are saying, what he is saying is, he is saying, because we are angam of Narayana, Lord Shiva is angam of Narayana, all the material world, everything is known as Maya. Because ultimately not Narayan himself is controlled by Maya. That is why. Because Narayan himself is controlled by Maya, Shiva is also being controlled by Maya. Which Maya? Yoga Maya. There is no Mahamaya. Mahamaya is simply a machine, a chaya. Simply that which is not. She doesn't exist. There is nothing known as Mahamaya. Simply a dress made from Lord Shiva's body. So it's Mahamaya. So Prabhupada says, anybody knows Durga's original nature to be spiritual, he is instantly liberated. That's the secret. So if you know that Maya is simply Yoga Maya, then you see the world as being in relation with Krishna, because Yoga Maya only works for Krishna, nobody else, not even Vishnu. She works only for Krishna. So then you see Krishna, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. Who is Vasudev? Son of Vasudeva? It's Krishna, Vasudevam. Balram is also not included in Vasudevam, because in that sense, because Vasudeva is actually Krishna, and some acharyas say there is Nanda Baba also. So in that sense, Vasudevam Sarvamiti, when he sees, that's a pure devotee, because he sees that this world, there is no Maya. The Maya is Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya works for Krishna. So everything in this world is being done by Krishna only, nobody else. So he sees pure. Then he becomes a pure devotee of Krishna. When he sees that Maya is in relation with Krishna. Rithertham yat pratiyata na pratiyata chatmani tadavidyad atmano Maya yatha bhaso yatha tamaha. So if you see anything disconnected from Krishna, and you see Mahamaya. Somebody slaps you, oh, that person has slapped me. It's not Krishna who has slapped me. Then you see that person disconnected from Krishna. Then you see that, oh, demigods disconnected from Krishna. You see everything disconnected from Krishna. You see Maya as disconnected from Krishna. Maya is acting in some energy which is working independent of Krishna's desires. Demigods are controlling it, or somebody else is controlling it. Your boss is controlling it, Maya. Then you have a struggle to conquer Maya. That becomes material world. But when you see that there is no Maya, ultimately that Maya is Yoga Maya, who is working for Krishna, for Krishna's pleasure, then you see Vasudevam Sarvamiti. So then you don't see anything as disconnected from Krishna. So here we can see the entire verse. First he says, Narayana Tvam Nahi Sarvadhinam. You are not Narayan, my Lord. Why you are not Narayan? You are that Krishna, my Lord. You are not Narayan acting like Krishna. You are totally Krishna. You are a small little child. I thought you were Narayan who is acting like Krishna, but no, you are a small little child. And then your angam, because your angam, Narayana himself is a product of Maya. You are not the product of Maya. You are not under Yoga Maya. Narayana is under Yoga Maya. I was thinking that you under Yoga Maya were acting like a small kid. So devotees were thinking like that also. Okay, Krishna under Yoga Maya thinks himself to be a kid, because he forgets that he's the Lord. He doesn't forget anything actually. That is what I explained in this whole lecture. He never forgets anything that he is Lord. At every second he is remembering he is Lord. Still his nature is like a kid. So he is not Narayan who is acting like under Yoga Maya like Krishna. No. He is not Narayan. He is Krishna. Narayan is product of Maya. Tava eva Maya. And because Shiva is coming from Narayan, he is also being controlled by Maya. He is also under Maya. And because all the living entities are coming from Shiva's and Maya's body, they are also under Maya. So everything is that in that way this world is known as Maya. That is what Brahmaji is explaining in this verse. Hare Krishna.